Hello and a warm welcome to this special edition of Procurement Shorts, where we bring you up to speed on how the Great Resignation has impacted procurement and supply chain and cargo deliveries. The cargo logjam at air and seaports in the US could get a lot worse, as Chicago's O'Hare Airport has begun seeing a rise in e-commerce shipments. According to reports, cargo teams at the airport have been severely understaffed, compromising speed and efficiency of operations. Some estimates say certain teams at the airport have seen staff strength reduced by 50% in the last few months. But it isn't just O'Hare. Cargo operations have been critically affected at airports across the United States. While the U.S. airline industry's headcount rose to nearly 746,000 workers in March this year, 1.63% more than March 2019, recruitments in cargo remain underwhelming. Only about 277,000 workers of the 746,000 airline staff belong to cargo airlines. That's just 37% of the industry's headcount. In fact, cargo carriers saw a drop in headcount for the month, with FedEx cutting employment by nearly 479 jobs. With increasing cargo shipments to American airports, though, indications are that hiring might spike marginally as summer continues. But this reversal in recruitment trends could see hiring costs skyrocket, as sourcing labor could prove to be challenged. Here's why filling America's job vacancies might prove to be problematic. Data reveals that the country's historically low employment rate is on account of a large chunk of its workforce choosing to switch jobs. This has applied tremendous pressure on the recruitment of blue-collar workers, since this demographic has moved away from their industry of focus to what they consider more lucrative and safer workplaces. In fact, the United States faces a significant shortage of truck drivers, construction and manufacturing workers, miners, and factory operators, job profiles that are critical to supply chain continuity. In fact, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has almost unanimously agreed that labor availability across various job markets is a major concern to the country's economic growth. If the effect of the Great Resignation in the US wasn't bad enough, Russia could see its own job market heavily impacted on account of economic sanctions. The country has been witnessing a rise in layoffs, with several multinational countries ceasing operations in solidarity with Ukraine, which continues to contend with Russia's invasion. Pepsi, for one, which employs 20,000 Russians, has halted future projects. McDonald's has closed its Russian operations and retrenched its staff as well. Moscow's local administration estimates that a total of 200,000 Russians employed by multinational conglomerates could lose their jobs thanks to the exodus of overseas brands. Labor supply to the Russian market is expected to underperform or decline owing to temporary workers from Moldova, Armenia, Georgia, and Azerbaijan looking for alternatives, even as the war in Ukraine has brought job growth in Europe to a halt. Some estimates claim that job postings have been on the decline in nearly 21 countries. Meanwhile, Taiwan has refused to let recruitment agencies pick talent for jobs in mainland China. The move comes even as demand for workforce in Taiwan has hit the roof. The country has witnessed a massive shortage in semiconductors and skilled talent, which has caused employers to announce large salary hikes. Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturers tsmc and MediaTek have announced plans to hire over 10,000 employees this year, while United Microelectronics and ASML hope to hire 1,500 and 1,000 prospective employees in the near future. Analysts in Taiwan say the demand for skilled labor could see labor and procurement costs go up, as salary and employee benefits packages are up for an upward revision. China's zero-COVID policy continues to plague its job market. In April, the country's joblessness rate rose to 6.1% after a spike of 0.3 percentage points. Incidentally, this is the highest unemployment that China has seen since COVID was declared a pandemic in March 2020. Across the country, production and manufacturing has witnessed a slump, even as medium-sized and small-scale businesses have cut down on hiring activity, choosing not to extend offers to temporary and permanent employees. What makes matters difficult is that while HR budgets may allow for hiring talent, China's demographics don't allow for a turnaround. Here's why. Several migrant workers in China have made their way back to tiny villages, hamlets, and their towns of origin in the aftermath of lockdowns in the country. As a result, sourcing blue-collar talent to work in factories and supply chain-related industries is proving to be tougher. Analysts say hiring costs could spike as the local economy reopens after weeks of staying shut. A survey of various recruiters has revealed that labor cost inflation is perhaps the most financially draining impact of the Great Resignation, as filling vacancies is proving to be a difficult prospect that is plagued by slowness. A survey of various recruiters has revealed that labor cost inflation is perhaps the most financially draining impact of the Great Resignation, as filling vacancies is proving to be a difficult prospect that is plagued by slowness. Some reports estimate that labor costs at certain organizations could go up by 30% over the next 2 years, as workforce demands on the work, flexibility, salary, and employee benefits front are set to get a facelift. In the light of this, HR assessments of hiring processes and retention strategies have become most of the most critical strategic priorities for any company. In fact, resignations at warehouses and the resulting stress on supply chains could be done away with if only warehouse owners would listen a lot more, says Rufus Labs founder and CEO, Gabe Grifoni. In a column for a well-known freight magazine, Grifoni said examining available data was a key measure to stem the resignation rot. Grifoni said, and I quote, "When in doubt, consult the data. No matter what the job market looks like, it's always the best practice to collect as much information from employees before they leave. You don't need to wait until an employee has taken another job to mine this data." End quote. Technology adoption and automation is being seen as another way of controlling the impact of resignations on the supply chain. Across America, several companies in logistics are adopting key tech elements to help a younger workforce relate to and perform better at their day jobs. The objective is simple: reduce attrition by introducing relatable and user-friendly technology at the workplace. These solutions span from modern-day innovations like warehouse management systems, which include radio frequency identifiers on wearable devices like smartwatches, automatic forklifts, and interactive warehouse layouts. This tech, HR experts say, could go a long way in letting a majorly millennial workforce relate to the job a lot better and get by supply lines with improved efficiency. These measures come even as the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics points to large gaps between available jobs and candidates that could fill these positions. The report claims 4.5 million Americans quit their day jobs in November and calls on organizations to use technology and disrupt the impact this exodus could have on local supply chains. That's about all the time we have on this edition of Procurement Shorts. Remember to log in to bureaulive.ai to keep getting your fix of news, views, and updates from this space. Until next time, it's goodbye from us.